You know, that feeling when you know something's wrong, but you talk yourself out of it anyway? Yeah, I should have listened to that feeling. My name's John. I'm a structural surveyor, or at least I was. My job's pretty boring, honestly. I check old buildings, write reports, move on. But last month, I got sent to a lighthouse that nobody wanted to talk about. St. Mary's Point. The moment I mentioned it, people went quiet. The guy at the ferry dock, he just shook his head and said, "Don't stay past dark." The woman at the supply shop handed me a flashlight and whispered, "Whatever you do, don't let the light go out." I thought they were messing with me. Small town ghost stories, right? I wish that's all it was. The ferry dropped me off on a jagged little island about 2 miles from shore. The second I stepped onto those rocks, the air felt heavy, like the kind of silence you get right before something terrible happens. And there it was, the lighthouse. Tall, cracked, leaning slightly to one side like a crooked tooth. The paint had peeled off in long strips, and the windows were black and empty. It looked like it was watching me. I climbed the hill toward it, and with every step, the sound of the ocean got louder. Not normal loud, I mean angry. The waves didn't just crash, they slammed into the rocks like fists pounding on a door. The door to the lighthouse was already open. I didn't remember anyone saying it would be unlocked. I pushed it wider, and the hinges screamed. Inside, it smelled like salt and something rotten, like wet meat left out in the sun. The main room was a mess. Rusted tools scattered on the floor. A mug of coffee still sitting on the table, filled with black mold. Bottles were torn and frayed, but the light was on. I grabbed my flashlight and started climbing the spiral staircase. Every step echoed, and then I heard it. Footsteps. Not mine. Above me. Heavy, slow, deliberate. I stopped, listened. The footsteps stopped too. I kept going. So did they. When I reached the lantern room at the top, my stomach dropped. Hanging from a hook by the window was a Lightkeeper's uniform, soaking wet. Water dripping onto the floor in a steady rhythm. It hadn't rained, not inside. I looked out the window, out at the sea, and I saw them. Shapes in the water, just beneath the surface. Dozens of them, pale, twisted, reaching up toward the light like they were drowning and couldn't quite break through. My radio crackled. A voice came through, low, broken, barely human. "Keep the light burning, or they come ashore." I dropped the radio. It hit the floor and shattered. I spun round and froze. My reflection in the glass, it was smiling at me. I wasn't smiling. I backed away, heart hammering. And that's when the logbook on the floor started moving. The pages flipped on their own, faster and faster, until they stopped on a blank page. And then, words started appearing. Fresh ink, writing itself. "The sea needs a keeper." I ran. I bolted down the stairs, but the door at the bottom, it was locked. From the outside. And then I heard it. Water seeping in through the cracks, through the floor. rising up the stairs behind me. And in that water, I heard voices, dozens of them, whispering my name. John, the Coast Guard found the lighthouse the next morning. The light was on again, burning bright, for the first time in decades. They went inside. No sign of me, just a new entry in the logbook, written in clean, careful handwriting. John, Lightkeeper, October 2025. The sea called my name. I answered, if you ever find yourself near St. Mary's Point, and you see that light cutting through the fog, don't look too long, because if you hear it whisper your name, you won't be able to leave either.